Thank you for joining me. This video is just a brief guide of setting up Tailwind CSS for Rails 6.1. This works around the issues with Tailwind CSS 2 and the post CSS 7 issues that are inherent in that version of Rails. And so this is a guide to get that installed. So the first thing we're going to do is just go ahead and create a new project. So Rails new I love Tailwind. So we have that installing. So on the Tailwind website, if you go to the Tailwind website and hit get started and then installation, there's a little guide on how you get it working with if you get this error here. So what I've found is this is really designed for NPM and not for Yarn, and I just found a different way of doing it with Yarn and Rails. So let's go back to our application really quick, and let's go ahead and add the, we're going to create a controller and an index method, and we're just going to tweak that really quick just to do our testing before we start. So Rails generate controller home index. All right, so now I'm gonna edit that view, and we're gonna add a class in here to make it purple, so we know that we've made the change. So we made it purple. Now let's go ahead and start the server. All right, so this is our home page. So let's go into our application. And we're gonna add a Tailwind. So we're just gonna copy this right here. Boom. And then paste it. All right, so we have Tailwind added. Now what we're going to do is we're going to edit the post CSS file, and we're going to tell it all about Tailwind. So we're going to add Tailwind CSS. We're going to say this is where our config file is located. We're going to create a style sheets folder to put our Tailwind config file in. And so we'll do that here in a second. So app JavaScript style sheets tailwind.config.js. So we've done that. So I'm going to close out of that. So I'm going to make that directory. So we just created that directory. Now we're going to add the configuration file for that. All right, so on this page, there's the configuration for the configuration file, or the configuration file contents. So we're just going to paste that in there. So this is just a blank config, and there's like some purge settings that you can have, but right now let's just start with the basics. So that's been set up. So inside the JavaScript packs directory, there's an application.js, and we're going to edit this file to have a reference to Tailwind. All right, so we've added that. Now we need to edit the layouts for the overall application, and we're going to tell it to point back to that application file that we just updated. So we're changing link to pack. All right, so so we've edited the index page. We have a server running. We've edited the config file for post CSS. We've added the Tailwind CSS library, and now we're going to see if things are working. And there we go. We have the purple large 5XL size, text size. So everything seems to be working properly. So I appreciate you joining me in this journey through this, and hopefully this was helpful. I'll be doing a follow-up video to this that covers the installation of the Hotwire dev add-in for Rails, and then how to deal with that with the existing TurboLinks installation and some few other things. So thank you for watching, and goodbye.